Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is your reading for Pick a Card, Good News in the Next 72 Hours. This reading is from now, April, until the end of May, but you can really watch it any time. There's 6 options today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See if one resonates for you more than the others. You can always come back and check it out again. And I will read the good news for you that will happen to you in your life in the next 72 hours. So take a moment just to find which one resonates for you the most, and we'll begin. Take a deep breath and just relax. I hope you're having a nice day, and let's just get right into it. So here is number 1, option number 1. Let's find out what's the good news for you guys in the next 72 hours. Okay, so your first card is the 6 of Swords. Okay, good news in the next 72 hours. 6 of Swords, 7 of Rods. Okay, sticking up for yourself, leaving a situation behind with your head held high. 7 of Swords. Okay, so you see that you're going to take hold of your feelings about something, and you are going to make a critical decision to move on from something that is beneath you. And I think that you're going to really see something for what it is. You're going to see its value, or you're going to see its detriment to you in your life. You're going to see how it's either productive for you or how it's holding you back. And whichever one of these things it is, you're going to know exactly what you want to go after. You're going to make a very clear decision about what's important for you. You are going to be able to call the shots. Very, very commanding sort of decision making. You might have a choice here between 2 different options, and maybe these 2 different options you have been waiting through for a while. And I do feel like you are going to decide between these 2 different options and find the one that is the stronger option for you. And I don't think you're going to have too many questions about that. Okay? Next cards we have is the 10 of Wands. So you've been carrying a bit of a burden for a minute now with regard to this. I think that this is something that's bigger than you, that you've been choosing to make a decision about. We have the 2 of Cups. I think that you're going to be making a lot of bold decisions at this time. Prince of Wands. Very, very daring. You're willing to put things on the line. I think that you're also willing to let things go. Even though you may love someone or something, you're willing to let things go. But I don't think you're going to let things go thinking that you've missed out. I think you're going to let things go knowing that that person is just not who you need them to be, or in otherwise this person is not what you need at this time. Okay, so there's definitely some kind of you're calling the shots and you're making bold moves. I have a feeling that some of the way forward has been riddled with a lot of obstacles and challenges for you for a while, and I feel like you are in some way now being able to rise above the obstacles and carry whatever the consequences are, the things that are in your way. So you're able to pick up whatever the challenge is, figure out the challenge, and move forward. Okay, let's see the next card. We have Fear. Yeah, there's been quite a bit of fear, and we have the Triumph, which is the Chariot card. Overcoming fear. Overcoming fear. I feel like you've been struggling with something for a while. I feel like there's a lot of different things that you have had to endure or carry or deal with. It's been kind of a heavy load to carry. It's been a heavy load to carry, and I think that at this time in the next 72 hours you will find your zeal, you will find your strength to move forward, and I think you'll feel very empowered about the direction that you're going. You're going to let go of fear. You're going to walk away from fear. You don't want fear around. You don't want to feel any kind of, I don't know, how do you say, you don't want to feel any kind of subversion, or you don't want to be controlled by anything. And I think that you have pride and confidence in the direction that you're going. Also, I have a feeling that somebody could be coming around if you're waiting for a message on that. this person, if it's a Prince of Wands kind of energy, for some of you it's a Sag, for some of you it's a Leo, for some of you it's an Aries. They may be coming in with some kind of loving energy for you at this time. And I have a feeling that maybe you had tried to in some way get a better energy going with them, improving the relationship for some time, but it hadn't worked out when you were initiating it, so you took a step back. And now this person's coming in with this positive energy towards you. They're trying to kind of bring you in. I think that maybe they recognize that they haven't been putting a lot of effort in, and so now they want to pull you back in, okay? So that's number one. So if you like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to make the energy real. If it doesn't resonate, choose a different pile and then we'll go on with that. So this is good news in the next 72 hours. Here's number 2. Let's see what you guys have. Good news in the next 72 hours, number 2. We have the 2 of Swords, okay? And then we have the 4 of Cups, okay? And then we have the 10 of Swords, okay? So, okay. So I have a feeling that at this time you are finding peace with a situation that was quite dark. There was a situation that was going on in your life that felt very, very dark and very limiting. And I think you're finding peace within it. I think that something new is coming in, a new perspective, maybe some new emotional support, maybe a friend reaching out, or some kind of a light to your circumstances. You may have felt very alone in the last few days, in the last few weeks. So much so, I feel like you've been in a critical event, like a massive critical event in your life that has left you really shaken up and feeling very vulnerable, or feeling otherwise really unwell about a situation. But now I think there's good energy coming in for you, good supportive energy in the form of friendship, in the form of love. And I think that that's giving you peace of mind. Here is the next message. We have the Sun. Okay. So I have a feeling that you feel good for the first time after a long time. I feel like you feel good, and I feel like you feel enlightened and taken away or from whatever darkness you have been experiencing. If you chose number 2, I really feel bad for you. I feel like you've been through the ringer. I feel like you have been through such intense darkness, such intense like fear, and like up late at night in fear and worry, those kinds of things. But I think that that is really passing, just like a storm is passing in the tropics, you know, how they come in very strong and dark, and then suddenly the weather passes and it's nice and sunny. So I think that whatever situation that's coming, that's being resolved, is going to be much brighter and lighter for you. And then we have the Moon. Okay. So I have a feeling that there's more in this situation than what you see. So you have been dealing with it to a certain degree. There's a situation around you to which you only know a certain portion. Maybe this is because of other people's secrets, or maybe this has to do with someone hasn't told you everything yet. But the situation is better than what you know. The situation is better than what you know, and it's bringing in, it seems as though you've been dealing with like everything but a certain degree of emotions. You've only had to interact with emotions to a certain level in a situation. You haven't had the opportunity to delve in that deep yet. And so things like it felt very cold, and your environment felt very cold and distant. But I feel like now that underneath that surface there's like a subtext there, and there's a lot more emotionally there than what you thought. Okay. And then we have the Magician. Okay. So somebody was creating something or initiating something new. I don't think they told you everything about what they were creating. Maybe this was something that you were doing, or maybe this was someone around you, but you didn't know the whole story. You didn't know everything right away. Okay, so you didn't know everything right away, and it felt like eerie, and it felt uncomfortable, and you were somewhat worried or disturbed or concerned about a situation, but that's because you weren't involved in a part of the decision making. You weren't involved in part of the idea. And so you will find out that, and it's going to make your experience much better. You're going to find out more about the situation that's happening around you that you're held back from. Here is the next message. We have the goddess energy, and then we have the material and spiritual prosperity, Six of Pentacles. It really feels like somebody around you has been working really hard to attain a certain level of prosperity and success. Somebody around you has been working really hard to get to a certain level, and I don't think that they told anyone. You know, it feels like somebody was trying to shelter something, protect something, to keep it under wraps to some degree. And so I feel like it wasn't necessarily meant against you, but whatever they were working on was to build success or to build more prosperity, to bring more success into their life or into your life. There's generosity there. But I think that they were very protectionistic of whatever it is that they were creating. Maybe that was you and people around you, but if it was someone who's around you, then I feel like you may have felt put out. You may have felt like left out to dry, but this person was actually working towards something to bring everything together. Their motivation was to protect that thing that they were working on. And so now you are more at peace of mind to really nurture and to take care of your own road. Your road becomes lighter over the next 3 days. A truth somewhat gets unveiled, but not fully. And I think that the dread that you're feeling, it's a dread of a feeling about other people. It's a dread of a feeling that someone doesn't love you enough, that they don't notice you. And I think that dread's going to be lifted. I think it's a miscommunication issue, frankly. So that's going to become clarified. And I think you'll be very surprised with what's actually going on. So that's wonderful. Heavy, heavy energy to start with this reading. Number 1 and 2 both. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to make the energy real. Now, we're going to take a look at number 3. Hi, number 3. Welcome. If you chose 3, this is what's going to happen for you in the next 3 days. We have the Page of Pentacles, a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Secondary transits, very earthy as well. King of Pentacles, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Secondary transits in fire, Sagittarius or Aries. When I say this, I don't usually mean just secondary transits. It's not a perfect science. It just is supposed to give you some insight. If you chose number 3, you have the Star here, which is the card of Aquarius, soulmate, something fated. Well, I have a feeling that there's a very powerful physical connection between you and someone else that might be confirmed. But I do feel like for many of you, these are 2 people around you who come into the picture in some way. And their presence in your life is full of success, full of some kind of a road opening energy. There's definitely like a horizon in front of you with these people. This could be you and someone in a relationship, but I feel like this is really these 2 people that have shown up in your life. And in some cases, they will be connected, but for many of you, there will be 2 separate people, both earthy type people, not necessarily earth signs, but very, very physical people, beautiful people, wealthy people come into your life and bring success. This could be on a personal level and with work, okay? Then we have the 3 of Swords. Here is the good news. And we have the Princess of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, secondary transits in Earth, and the Fool. So a new beginning. Oh, wow. Okay. So I have a feeling that there is a fundamental somebody has shown you the truth about someone. Sorry to kind of take a different turn with this, but that's what's coming through. This King of Pentacles has shown you the truth. Now you're the Page of Pentacles in the second iteration for this reading. So you have somebody has shown you the truth about someone else, and that is allowing you to let go of that person. You have seen that person to be petty. You have seen that person to be crass, vulgar, those kinds of things. Someone who was intimidating you, or something that was really impactful to you, very making you feel unwell. It felt like somebody was trying to dig a hole, like a knife, into your diaphragm, really kind of get at your personal, in your diaphragm, that's the part right underneath your chest over your navel, is the solar plexus. The solar plexus is governed by the Sun and Mars and Leo, the sign of Leo, and this is our drive and our ego, right? A very powerful chakra. I really like that chakra. And when someone is trying to hurt you, especially in a backwards way, when it's kind of manipulative, you've known that feeling in the past, right? Everybody who's watching has. And it's basically, you feel this knot in your stomach scenario, as they say. So you feel the knot in your stomach, and that knot in your stomach is actually that person trying to erode at your self-confidence, which is that solar plexus, which is your drive, your ego, the positive side of ego, right? So whoever it was, the Princess of Cups maybe, or someone else, has been trying to dig that knife right into your diaphragm, right into your solar plexus. I can see that very clearly. And someone has shown you, for what they are, the superficiality and the crass, vulgar nature of their behavior. There's an unveiling here of somebody's pure intentions towards you. You see someone for who they are, and now you can kind of shrug off whatever they're doing to you or saying around you to feel better, and you have your new beginning. And it's going to be a very fast moving beginning. Move in the new direction, move fast, no holding you back. They don't have anything on you. Here is the next message. We have creativity. You're finally freed and released in the next 3 days. This is the best one so far. Freed and released from something that was holding you back. And especially on that psychological, emotional level. Something had its rope right around your neck, holding you back. You were enslaved by something or someone. And someone has shown you someone to be gross and disgusting. And when you look at that person who once was so impactful to you, so intimidating, or maybe even you held them in regard, and that's why it was hard for you to negotiate the kind of subtle manipulation that they were doing, now you see them for what they are, and that's lower than you. They were lower than you, and they were always lower than you. And that's why they were just manipulating to intimidate. You know that salamander that opens up its gills? I don't know if it's gills, but it opens up its, I don't think it's a salamander, sorry. But I think it's something that's like a some type of salamander. It opens up its gills, and it positions it, or like a peacock opens up its feathers. Now, peacock does it for different reasons. The salamander does it to scare people off. It's like that. Somebody was trying to really scare you, and now you see them, it's like, oh, it's just like a little squishy thing, and it's insecure in and of itself, that person. And then we have patience, the Sagittarian card. Now it's pure creativity. Now, the art temperance card, right? This is the art temperance card of Sagittarius. Now you will move forward in the next 3 days to create something really, truly beautiful. That noise, but if you feel guilty about lost time or whatnot, don't feel guilty about lost time, because you had to go through the dark night of the soul. You had to go through that to really work through the energy. It was in your path, and you were meant to negotiate it. You were meant to liberate it so you could appreciate it, and now you can speak to it. Now you can kind of incorporate it in your creativity, and you can move forward so much empowered for having gone through it. Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4 is next. I'm going to do 6 options today just so we have a bit more, and you can come back a couple times this month and see if you have a little message. Okay, so number 4. Hi, number 4. Welcome to my channel. Oops. I picked them from the bottom because that's how I lay them down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, etc. So let's see your messages. Number 4, you have the Ace of Pentacles, good news about work, money, finances, physical things. Ooh, someone really likes you. Page of Swords. Someone likes your earthy side. So whatever transits you have in earth, even if you're not an earth sign, somebody likes your body, somebody likes your hips, somebody likes your fancy ways, you know? Somebody likes the way you move. And I think that this person has a different energy than you do, number 4. And I think that you have what they lack, and they like it. And then we have the 8 of Rods. So you're about to hear something good. This person is going to send you good news. This person is going to share their admiration of you. This person is going to kind of say something like, ooh, you know, I like you, or I like this, you know, I like what you're about. You have a bit of a fan. It's kind of exciting. It's, you know, somebody's attracted in a big way. Here is the next message. You have the 4 of Cups. Okay. Yeah, an offer is coming through. You have an admirer. Somebody's somewhat outside of your main path. It's not someone on your main kind of trajectory. This is a person who's on, they're sort of not the person who you would know. They're a surprise. They're the unexpected element. And then you have the Hermit. Okay, so it's up to you to decide if you want to be with this person. You're going to use your wisdom and insight. This is Stella's Tarot, by the way, one of the most beautiful decks. I don't use it a lot, or I haven't before, because of the detail. I don't use a lot of detail decks because they don't show up that well in the readings. I want you guys to see clear pictures, but this is Stella's Tarot. It's an out-of-print deck. It's one of my favorite decks, and it's so beautiful. Look. It's just gorgeous. But yeah, you're going to make a decision, and it's going to come as a decision from your past experiences. And then we have the Death card, change and transformation. The news you're about to hear in the next 3 days is going to change what you're figuring out. Okay? So maybe like you were thinking about A, B, and C, 3 different options in your life since yesterday. But now when this person makes their advance, when they make their proposition or say something to you, it's going to make you think about something else. Now you have more things to consider. Maybe moving with them, maybe taking them back. Like you're making different life decisions suddenly in the next 3 days. That's big news. Heaven on earth. Who likes you, number 4? This is a ooh, number 4 is lucky. Heaven on and power. This is the strength card, the card of Leo. Personal strength. There's passion in this one. Somebody has physical love for you. They're attracted to you. You're a mystery to them. They're very, very attracted to you. I can sense that. They're like, you're a mystery to them. They don't understand why you trigger them in the way that other people don't. So it's a big crush. You still need to decide if it's for you or not, but I think at first you're going to feel very, very taken aback, and you're going to be very like, I don't know, it's just going to feel really good. So that's wonderful news. So that's number 4. Okay, now we're going to move on to this is number 5, right? This is number 6, sorry. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to make the energy real. So good news for you in the next 72 hours. Let's see. So we have the Hermit again. We can appreciate the Hermit. This is the Taylor Ellis deck. Taylor Ellis? I promoted his deck in like my first year of doing this, and he's the nicest person I worked in the tarot community with. He was so gracious and polite. And yeah. It was just a real light in the darkness. Really nice deck, but I think it's out of print now. So we have the Hermit, Virgo. We have the Ace of Swords, if you pick number 5. You're going to be alone, but you're going to hear a message, and there's the message of love, 2 of Cups. Look at you guys go. Very good news. I think there's love that's being, You're hearing news of love. Someone loves you, someone wants to bring you in. Now, for some of you, this isn't going to be romantic love. For some of you, this is going to be the love of a family member or love of a friend. But you're transitioning from being really alone to making a really decent connection with someone. So that feels really great. Let's see the next messages. We have the Princess of Wands, a Sag, a Leo, or an Aries, secondary transit in Earth, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Then we have the Star. Look at you guys, I told you. Okay, this is the soulmate card. This is the card of Aquarius. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. You guys, sharing is caring, you guys. Six of Pentacles. That's really nice. So there's a young energy around you. That energy is reaching out to you. There's a young person in the mix who's sort of changing things for the better, giving hope. It could be a creature like a cat or a dog that's influencing positive, where the mind could have gone in a really dark direction. There's like a creature or a very young person that's spinning luck towards a very happy place. And so maybe you I feel like you have been alone, not really sad, but sort of alone, sort of alone in your predicament, alone in your circumstances. And I feel like, yeah, you've been alone in your predicament, alone in your circumstances. And I think there was a feeling of, when will people come around? You know, in some way. When will I make a connection with someone? When will there be people around to talk to? It was kind of lonely, actually, now that I think about it. And it's been lonely, and you were wondering, like, I guess most of us are in quarantine, so it's like, how am I going to meet people or bring people in? And this is definitely going to be over the phone or over the internet or some kind of communication device. But there's going to be suddenly somebody reaches out to you. And the influence of that is this person who's kind of bringing you good luck and spinning a situation in a positive direction. You're moving towards very, very good connection with friends or family. Much more friend energy than anything else that's coming through the strongest. And then we have enchantment. Okay. And then we have the fulfillment of wishes, the Nine of Cups. I think you're getting a little bit of something that you've really wanted here on a social level in the next 3 days. You know, brightness, more happiness. I sense food, sharing of food, enjoying yourself, simple life pleasures. And I think that you're going to feel a little lighter, a little bit brighter. And I think that there's a little humor around for you now. So in the next 3 days, your life is going to really light up a lot more than it has been. There's going to be a lot more light and brightness for you to enjoy. And I think that it's kind of, somebody's going to turn on the lights in your life. So that's nice. Okay, so last but not least, number 6. It was number 4 before. I screwed it up. That's okay. Okay, number 6. Do we want to do a little pick a card at the end? We'll do a little pick a card at the end for everybody watching live. Number 6, good news in the next 3 days, 72 hours. So we have the Chariot first. This is the card of Cancer. And then we have the Strength card. Okay, that's Leo. And then we have the Three of Cups. Well, this is a very social reading as well, being brought together with other people for social reconciliation, connection. You know, it's not so much like the other one in which you were really alone, but suddenly there's a real burst forward to reconnect, have fun, rise above challenges, excitement for the future, celebration, happiness, and joy in the next 72 hours. Five of Pentacles. So it was about, I guess, questions about who would be there for you when the time was, when you needed them. Maybe that's something that you had been worried about for a while beyond just this situation. Maybe you always had this latent anxiety that when things go bad, who's going to be there for you? Maybe you had friends and social connections, but you never felt like that tested and true. Like you didn't feel that you tested. Life has tested it with you yet. So you weren't sure if the people that you knew, if the people you were connected with were were there to count on, and they very much are. And I think they're stepping up for you, and it's like suddenly you feel very invigorated by the situation because you feel like, yes, there's this connection that I'm excited about, there's this connection I'm joyful for. Here is the next message. We have the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Discs, new beginning. I sense that you're just rushing at people. The visualization that I'm getting is that you're rushing at people. There's nothing holding you back. You're like full speed at people, very excited and very present. You're just like, I'm there. And then you have the Five of Wands. Interesting. So nervousness and shyness is a thing for you. Social anxiety is kind of picked up. But I think that you're so happy to feel supported. You know that trust fall that I talk about, that's when a person crosses their arms and falls back. This is like the confirmation. This is when you fall and somebody grabs you and you're like, oh, okay, somebody was there for me, and it's like it feels so good to be a part of that. But then you have some anxiety, like you start second guessing yourself, that awkwardness comes in a little bit, but that doesn't mean that it undermines the good energy that's with you. This new connection with all these friends, it's like, when you're like sitting there for days or weeks or even months, maybe even years sometimes, and you're wondering what the next situation's gonna be, and you're just like waiting. Like, which way do I go? What is the path? What is the path that I'm supposed to be on? And you can't really, you may make decisions or choices to move ahead, but the big opportunity, the big fated opportunity hasn't come up for a while. And I feel like this is kind of that, but this is the big opportunity. And when you feel like that opportunity show up, it's like, there it is. And when your intuition is like, this is it. This is the one I want. This is the good direction. It's that very heavy, intense confirmation of your intuition that this is that that there's going to be a good outcome from this. It's a very, very, this will not confuse me sort of energy. So these two fives are very minor. They're like your anxieties and worries. I like social anxiety, because you think it's like, no, it's not going to work for me. Yeah, it's going to work for you. And these people are there, and they're like just as happy to have you in their life as you wish, just as happy to have you in their life as you are to have them in yours. And we have the Chariot and the Strength card, which is Cancer and Leo. They may have those transits, but it's not necessary. This to me really feels like a push from the heart. It's like everybody's really excited, I sense. Everybody's really feeling happy to be there. Moon Tree, this is all about your tribe, dude. So this is your tribe, this is your connection, and then you have spiritual strength. Life has made you anxious. It's not that you're really anxious on a regular basis. Life has made you anxious because you've had to kind of deal with things on your own or with suboptimal circumstances for a while, and you had to survive. We all have moments in life when we need to survive, and I feel like you've passed that phase now, and now you're in that phase of having a little bit of a cushion, having a little bit of a social cushion. So I think that that's great. And what it's going to lead to is you letting go of that social anxiety. I feel like that's going to be gone. I think you've been worried that social anxiety is going to stick around for a minute. I think that some of you have been worried that the social anxiety was not going to go away, but this is saying that it is. It's very much. It's what you were feeling anxious about was the nervousness. You were anxious and nervous that financially things were not going to pull through for you, that when, you felt like vulnerable by the lack of this perfect situation around you. And now as that missing piece of that trust between you and others is confirmed, you're going to go back to, it's like, no, I don't have social anxiety. I was just weary. I was feeling weary by my circumstances. So now it's like okay, phew. You know, when you realize that you're not sick anymore, and you're like, that's a relief, you know, whether it's physical or mental or emotional, you know, it's a real relief. It's like, you know, chronic disease is like the harshest thing ever, right? So so when you feel like you clear that, oh, it's not social, I'm not anxious, I won't have to live with this for the rest of my life, you're feeling pretty good, and not much can take that away from you right now. Okay, do you guys want to do a little pick a card summary reading? Let me know in the comments. Let me know. And whoever's doing time caps, just put a time cap in for this one. I am going to do it anyway. So, yes. Yeah, it's a great feeling when you clear something like that, hey? And it's whatever situation is irritating when it's over, like getting your taxes done. Whew, that's a good feeling. Okay, so one. In Canada, we don't have to do our taxes till August this year. It's kind of crazy. But it's kind of, I'd rather do taxes than what's going on any day. Okay, should we do 3 or 5 cards each? Let's do 5, just because it's a nice day. This is a fun way. So this is, if you don't know what I'm doing here, this is like a little summary message for whoever watches the end of the video. I'm going to put at the end of the video through the link through my weekly daily, which you can watch for today as well. They're like more rapid fire messages, but they're good messages, and I think you should watch them every day this week. This week's was really good. One more. Okay, and then we're going to do a pick a card with this first. Okay, there we go. Ready, Freddies? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. This one's got all the little cards in it. Okay. So I just used all the cards in the reading to do a second pick a card. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. I'm going to start with 1 right away. This is more of a fast reading. So you have the Sun number 1. Ready? Sun. And then you have the Hermit. Ooh, a journey. You're going to go out there somewhere in the wide world. The 10 of Swords. Doing your own thing. And Heaven on Earth. Ooh, I love this painting. So beautiful. I have to whip up my tarot deck from the same paintings. And then we have the 5 of Wands. Okay. Well, I think that you're going to make a change. This is, again, next 72 hours. You're going to make some kind of a change that you feel very excited about. But that change requires that you're going to have to, like, change some things in your life, the way that they're going, and you're very happy about it. Just like, you know, when you're taking care of your garden in the early spring and you have to like uproot everything and everything's messy, there's a lot of extra work. That's the phase you're in. And then you're going to have to tell other people about it. You're going to have to tell other people about it, and you're going to have to tell other people about it, and I think that there's a little bit of breaking the news to others. It's like, Mom, I'm dropping out of school to do this. Don't drop out of school. But like, do whatever it is you're doing, you're breaking the news to others, and you're a little nervous about how they're going to respond. But you feel very excited about the decision you've made in your life. And it's like, you're letting go of things you didn't want in your life anymore. You know, you didn't want to spend the next 7 years studying. You didn't want to, you're making a critical decision about your life, and you're excited about the change that you're making. Okay? So now number 2, these are just meant to be short. If you want more, then go to the end. There's that click through for the weekly daily. It's a reading for every single day of this week, so go check it out. Okay, so next message, number 2, we have the Hermit. The Hermit showed up everywhere. The Hermit, everybody's social distancing. It's the card of social distancing. Prince of Wands, okay. Sagittarius or Aries. This guy's feeling kind of fun. Prince of Wands has a lot of different faces. Peculiar person. Sometimes they're annoying, sometimes they're irritating, sometimes they're very protective, like a child to a mom. Have you ever seen a little boy protect his mom? It's the cutest thing. And then you have the Two of Cups. Ooh. There's something light is coming into your life, number 2. Four of Cups. Which one was it? If you chose like number 2 and number 2 again, there's definitely some kind of an offer being made. Somebody's putting through an offer. And then you have the Princess of Wands. Somebody's going to cheer you up. This is for all of you guys who are sort of alone. Whether it doesn't mean like only physically alone. Some people are feeling emotionally alone. There's someone coming in and cheering up the energy and putting a smile on your face. It's romantic, it's fun, it's light. It's like a good vibe. It's from a low energy or low-ish energy, you're going high. From kind of like a, from a lowish energy, you're going high. You're going into a more up energy. Somebody's going to kind of cheer you up, Hey, you're looking down there, Hermit. You Hermit, get out of the house a little bit, I'll cheer you up. There's a little bit of a cheering up energy, and it's going to work really well in the next 3 days. So somebody's coming into your life showing you love, showing you a little bit of humor, and just making you feel a bit better, which is nice. Okay, so now we have number 3. Let's see what's up with number 3. So we have the spiritual strength, the Nine of Wands. I love this. This is one of my favorite cards. I love the peace of the Godhead. I love his spirit's, the peace on his face is so beautiful. Okay, Nine of Wands. And then you have the Four of Cups. In tranquility, you find something beautiful. You find a new interest or something. Seven of Swords. You go by an idea or people or something that you don't want to be a part of. You pass something, you explore something. Maybe you go over, you go buy something, or you start reading a book and you're like halfway through the book and you're like, I don't want to be ingesting this stuff. This is me in books. I've read so many books 3/4 way through, halfway through, and I'm just like, no more of this. I don't like to read anything that's like, I don't know, how do you say, like I love Dostoevsky though, which is crazy, but like, because that's the darkest books, but I typically don't like to consume negative content. I really don't. I don't want to be inundated with negativity. So there's lots of books that I leave like this behind. This is Moon in Aquarius. I have Moon in Aquarius, so it's kind of that same vibe. But you're definitely going by something, or maybe people. Maybe you decide to stop being friends with someone, number 3, because you just see it sort of like cackling. Just like, you find serenity and you find something to be interested by, and then something else you kind of back off. And then you have the power and the strength of Leo. You feel strong. There's a lot of self-care here, number 3. And then we have triumph. Ooh, Chariot card, Leo and the Chariot. This came up in another reading somewhere, so go check the first set of readings I did. I feel like you're just like, you find your Zen moment, and then like everything else is eradicated. You just pluck out those negative, those grifters, in your life. Whatever kind of low energy, like hooks, like the coronavirus, it has all the little hooks in it, all the little tentacles, the little crowns. It's so ironic that they say that it has crowns all over it. And it's like, it is like the virus that is making us deal with like power structures and dynamics. By the way, I asked the question whether or not you guys wanted me to dive deeper into the coronavirus thing. A lot of people said no. I think that you guys are probably inundated just as much as I am. But if you do want me to talk about it more, I have more thoughts in a more profound way. But yeah, it's like, it's so funny that the crowns are the ones that are attacking, you know? The corona, the crown of the corona is latching onto us and hurting us. So it's pretty metaphorical. But yeah, you're getting away from like the, you know, when you walk into, is it ivy? You know, the tumbleweed, and it catches on your pants? And you're like, no, I'm just going to step out of the prickly stuff that latches onto me and pricks me, and automatically you feel better. Okay? And not necessarily such a lonely road, number 3, but just the importance of the self is really strong here. This is a glow up, number 3. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check out this weekly daily. That's fun. That's a reading for every day of the week. I'll talk to you guys soon, and have a nice day. Take care. Bye.